Welcome back to our video series about district energy system. So let's do the simulation of the district heating network. So we connected the buildings and we can now click here on calculate district. Before I click there, we need to define an energy hub. So one building needs to be the feed-in point. We can use this one here, for example. We can click on the building and then click on set as energy hub. Then it's red highlighted. And then we can click on calculate district. What the software is now doing, it will calculate the load profiles for the different buildings. It will also look for the minimum spanning tree, so the network configuration or the network that has the smallest length, but still connects all the buildings with each other. And in this case, for example, the software said, okay, this part would not be a part of the minimum spanning tree. And in the last step, it would calculate the diameters of the district heating network. We can visualize the results in different ways. The most convenient way is here on the right-hand side to use the drop-down menu. We can click, for example, on pressure loss. There we see the Pascal per meter pressure loss. We can also change the unit. We can visualize the design load, including the diversity factor or the flow velocity. So many different parameters that you can visualize, for example, also the diversity factor. And we can, here on the right-hand side, we can hide also the labels if we do not want to have the labels in the map. And if I click on here, for example, on heat losses, then we can also hide the units and the labels, so we can really change the plot and the graph, the visualization as we want to. So yeah, we can also visualize the building information. So for example, visualize the total heat demand or maybe the heat load of the buildings. There we can then see in one view if we maybe have a wrong parameter somewhere. If we go a little bit down, we will find some summarization of the results here in the tables. So for example, the space heating demand, the domestic hot water demand are shown in this table of the entire, of all buildings. The total heat demand, 733 megawatt hours. This is the same as the heat amount that we take from the network. And then we have the heat losses and then the amount of heat that needs to be generated by the energy hub. We have here two plots. So the first one is the heating and cooling demand of all the buildings. So actually the sum of the building profiles. And if we go a little bit down, then we have a second plot, which looks similar, but here we have the heat generation at the energy hub. So it includes also the losses of the network as well as the diversity factors. On the bottom, we have a table about the electricity. In this case, I did not activate the electricity demands, but we still have a little bit of electricity demand here at the end due to the pump work for the heat network. And if you go up on the page for the network, there we have some more detailed results. So for example, the length of the network, the length of the distribution pipes, of the connection pipes, the water mass and the linear heat density, for example, and some more detailed calculation results about the pump work, as well as the pressure losses of the critical path, so between the energy hub and the building that has the largest pressure loss. On the bottom, we have some more visualizations of the temperatures of the network and the ground temperature, as well as the heat losses of the network. We can also download them here on the buttons and then get the profiles in Excel. If we go up, we have a third page, the building page. There we find some information about the buildings. So the number of buildings, what's the floor area, and then some more information of the connected buildings and residential buildings. And then here we have the installed technologies in the buildings. Since we have just a normal district heating network, we only have the heat transfer stations. But in case where you have, for example, a booster heat pump, then we would also see booster heat pumps here in the table. All right, so you can download these results in different ways. So if I click here on download, you can export a building list. That would be an Excel sheet with all the building information. You can also download a list of the different pipe sections. The load profiles can be downloaded, as well as a GeoJSON file, where you actually get all the geodata of the buildings, as well as the network, as well as all the numeric results of the simulation in this GeoJSON file. Maybe I show the load profiles here as an example. There you can choose Excel file. This would be a summary of the, or it would include the most important profiles, but you can also choose, for example, CSV file, and there you can download all the profiles for all the buildings. But let me choose the Excel sheet, because there you get the, the load profiles for the energy hub and for the pump work, for example. So let me open this file. Here we have the summary of the demands, and then the second tab, we have the load profiles. So the total heat demand of the buildings, the space heating demand, the domestic hot water demand, as well as the energy or the heat demand at the energy hub, including then the losses and the diversity factors. And here on the right-hand side, we have, for example, the pump work also. So many different ways how you can export results. After we did the calculation for the network and the buildings, we would then continue with the design of the energy hub. And for the design of the energy hub, we would use actually this profile here. This hourly profile would be the base for the design optimizations in the energy hub. And this will be the next step. And then we will have a look at the generation side of the system.